Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we're unboxing the Horror Pack for April. Horror Pack is a monthly subscription service that's sent to your house every single month. That's why I said monthly earlier. You can get DVDs or Blu-rays depending on what you choose.
Yep, we go for the Blu-rays. It's really cool because you get a nice variety. They have the Horror Pack exclusive in every single pack. It's nice because there's a lot of films in here that we have never heard of most of the time.
Yeah, and they vary in quality. I know some people are like, oh, these are bargain bin stuff. In Canada, we don't get those anyway. We can't go to Dollar Tree and buy Blu-rays. I can buy Titanfall 2. That's the only game or any kind of media that I can get. All right, first up, we've got, ooh, Trick. I haven't seen this. This is one that we had on our list when it initially came out for a October film.
Is that Jamie Kennedy I see in this film?
Yes, we've got Jamie Kennedy. Oh yeah, he was talking about this when we met him.
Yeah, when we met him, this was one of the things that we're like, yeah, we'll check it out.
It's got Tom Atkins, one of our favorites, Omar Epps, Christina Reyes, and Ellen Adair. I know nothing about it except it looked really cool. And the cover looks dope.
And it's got a good cast.
Let us know about this one, because I know this is one that a lot of people did cover, and we just did not. From the director of My Bloody Valentine. We like that one.
All right, next we've got The Last Exorcism Part 2. So, of course I would draw this.
Hold on. Can I just start with saying, how are you having The Last Exorcism and a sequel to it? That's the second Last Exorcism is the other one.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure there's a third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
None of them are The Last Exorcism.
It never ends. That's the joys of these series. I would watch this on my own. I know you wouldn't watch it, but I'm always into Exorcist movies and all those fun ones. So this one here, as a sequel, don't know much about it. Don't really think there's anyone important in here, judging by... Not important. Everyone is important. I don't think there's anyone I know.
Did you watch the first one? You reviewed it, I think.
The Last Exorcism?
No. I can tell you this is a behind the scenes little bit. Well, I was looking for grungy textures for John's Paranormally Possessed show. I got the Last Exorcism poster in super high quality and cut out the middle bit and then flipped it. This is the texture that I use for John's stuff.
All right, well, it is what it is, right? When you're looking at those exorcisms.
Yeah, and they put it's like this, nearly the same cover just with blood on it.
They put a nice red vignette around it.
Brilliant. That's the unrated edition, that's why. Next up, we've got number 58, the Horror Pack Limited Edition, and it's Muck. Interesting story. Most of you know, depending on when you subbed, we backed Muck 2, and we had the opportunity to go see this film in the Playboy Mansion in Hugh Hefner's private theater, and it was fucking awesome. And this was right when we started the channel.
Yeah, so this would have been about 7 years ago. We flew out to LA, we met some of the cast, we met the director, we hung out, we partied hard. That's all I'm gonna say.
We did. We partied at the Playboy Mansion, we watched the movie, then we partied at an after party, and then we went to the after party. That's when you know it's gotten too crazy. So because of this, we hung out with Steve Walsh, who's the director, and he reached out to me recently like, hey, the sequel is finally done after all this time. I'm like, why don't you reach out to Horror Pack and see if you can get them to kind of put it in their pack. This is the first one. We already got the first one. Steve, you fuck. We want number 2, the one we backed 6+ years ago.
Yeah, we've already seen this. We've got a review on the channel of it.
It is skewed a little bit. It might be a little bit high for a lot of people because we anticipated the other movies coming out. This is part of a trilogy. This is the middle part of a trilogy. So this is number 2, which means you get no explanation and no closure. But at the time, I mean, we fucking watched it in the Playboy Mansion, so we're like, this fucking rocks.
There's bunnies everywhere.
There's playmates in the movie. There's just hot babes, Lauren Francesca. We have Kane Hodder as one of the creepy guys. It's one of the few movies that takes place on St. Patrick's Day that's not a leprechaun movie. It looks great. There's a lot of gore and some quality nudity. I would recommend checking it out, but you will be pissed because you don't get the closure that you want and you don't understand why these people are doing what they're doing. I still think it's a cool pickup for Horror Pack though.
Yeah, I don't know how many people actually can get a copy of Muck anyways now. All right, last one, and we literally just talked about this, Resident Evil Degeneration. So the other day, Frank, who's on the channel sometimes, we were talking about how many Resident Evil movies there are out there, And I remember watching this one. It's the 3D model ones.
Yeah, it's kind of like Final Fantasy did that Advent Children, and then Resident Evil was like, we can do that.
If you love Resident Evil, then you're gonna love this movie, but you also probably own it.
I don't own it, and I have all the other Resident Evils.
Really?
I didn't even know about this. Like, I knew about it, but like I didn't have it.
It's great. That's all I gotta say. It's a fun time. It's one of those just like put on and watch popcorn flicks.
And we got some OG characters in it. We got Claire, and we got Leon, the most important. The most important. And I'm really pumped for Resident Evil Village, by the way.
I wonder why.
Lady D and her big ass booty. I want her to step on me. And I'm not even into that yet, but I feel like I'm gonna be soon. It comes out my birthday. That's next week.
Just wait for all the cosplayers.
I know. One of my favorite ASMR artists, Shani, cosplayed and did an ASMR of Lady D. I don't know how to say her last name, so I just call her Lady D. Anyway, check that out. I'll link Shani's channel in the comments. She's great. That's a pretty unique looking lineup here. We've got a slasher, like an indie slasher that actually is pretty high budget. Like, it looks great. We've got Trick, which is a sought-after movie for like Halloween-style films. Resident Evil Degeneration, a forgotten potential gem, especially with new Resident Evil game coming out. Maybe that's why they slipped this one in here.
Smart marketing.
Good idea. And then, you know, this one was probably bargain bin. This is probably a Dollar Tree one, because it's Last Exorcism Part 2. What'd you guys think of this pack? If you guys want to learn more about it, go to horrorpack.com. Use the code Bloodbath to save $3 on your first order. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay up to date with everything Bloodbath and Beyond.